Anyway, podcast. I'm in Brooklyn right now. Planned on being here live for the show, but I'm actually off doing something and just got the news that Richard Lewis passed away, which is so devastating because he's absolutely one of my all-time favorites. One of the funniest guys of all time. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing him years ago, and I'm going to share that with you on this episode. So that's what you're going to hear. It's an interview that Richard Lewis and I did a number of years ago when he was playing a theater out here on Long Island. I swear to you, I don't remember when it was. I don't remember what we talked about. I just remember coming away from that interview falling in love with this guy, feeling so much more love for him than I already felt going into the interview. He was so wonderful. He was so warm. He made me feel like I was a friend of his, which is not an easy thing to do. And I just loved it so much. I have not listened to this interview since we did it, and I've always wanted to go back and listen. And I've been for the longest time thinking about re-releasing some of our old interviews because we have so many great ones with Greg Allman and I did a lot of interviews. There's a lot of great interviews, but I just thought with him passing today, this would be a good time to remember Richard Lewis and release this episode with our interview with him. So again, I haven't listened to this. I haven't pre-screened it. This was from my days on EHM radio. So you might hear us talking about an upcoming gig and him playing the Patchogue Theater and all this jazz. Obviously not a part of it, but I wasn't going to go through and listen to it and cut all the stuff out. I just wanted to play it as it was. And I am literally going to watch this episode with you guys because I'm tacking the interview on to the end of this and I'm putting it out, and that's it. So I'm going to watch it with you guys and just probably cry a little bit. Larry David put a really heartwarming tribute out today that said he was friends with Richard Lewis all his life. They were born in the same hospital together. He always made him laugh. He had a unique combination of being humorous and sweet, and for the first time he made him sob, and for that I'll never forgive him. That's what Larry David put out today, which is such a warm and loving tribute in such a cold and stern way, which I absolutely love from Larry David. I just loved him in everything. Robin Hood Men in Tights, his comedy specials, and Curb. Everything he did was wonderful and amazing. And again, I don't know if this interview is great or not, but I came away with it just going, oh my God, Richard Lewis. I think he said I ruined his career. I don't know what it was, but it was such a, coming from Queens, being a New Yorker, it's such a warm and loving compliment to hear stuff like that. So I'm in Brooklyn, as you can kind of see right now, doing this thing. And I just wanted you guys to hear this interview and enjoy it and remember Richard with us one last time. Thanks, everybody. It's Lou Reed on the morning show. 8:34 on 92.9 and 96.9 EHM. Really excited to have our next guest on the program with us. He is part of Curb Your Enthusiasm, which just premiered on Sunday. He is on tour right now, the Tracks of My Fears tour. He'll be at the Patchogue Theater coming up on November 3rd. Tickets on sale at patchoguetheater.org. We welcome onto the program Richard Lewis. Richard, good morning, man. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, you guys up there. I could have sworn you said we have Lou Reed on the phone, who happened to have been a good friend of mine. You didn't say Lou Reed by any chance, did you?
I did. Well, I just played Lou Reed. Yeah, you didn't hear it, but that's what I was just
Well,
playing.
How would I know that? You're trying to sabotage my career up there, and people won't come to the theater. Isn't the theater in the middle of the village? Like there's a shoe shine guy and a guy a boot black and then a guy who fixes horses and I mean these theaters are really shocking. They're beautiful old theaters, but they built sometimes little malls around them, and it's really spooky.
Yes.
Like you'll hear some women right behind the stage getting their hair blown out, but that's okay. I'll be there.
You're describing Patchogue to a T. Hair salons. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
No, it's cool, man. I saw pictures of it. Sometimes you see pictures on the internet, and they have it directed by Spielberg. And you get there, and you see a shark and 4 drug dealers waiting outside selling my tickets. But I This is a gorgeous club or whatever. It's a venue, whatever.
Yeah, the theater.
Anyway, you're the first interview I've had on the. I'm on the road now. I'm somewhere in Florida, and I'm hoping to charge my flight and my hotel room to the White House. If that's okay with you, it's my money. It's the taxpayers' money. No politics today. I'm not sure how much politics I want to do. As soon as I like to talk about me. I'm not a narcissist, but I got on stage, Tony, because my family was from another planet, and they didn't understand who I was, so I had to get strangers. I love strangers. It's also good sexually too, but now that I'm married, I don't want to risk it. There's always a consequence to that kind of behavior. And hold on a minute. Hold on, Amber, you can leave now. The money's on the table. Thanks a lot. No. People will believe that. You know, people believe when things happen to me on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I mean, listen. I play myself. I can't ever imagine being nominated for an Emmy as good as sometimes Larry and I are together. I'm only with Larry, and since 2000 with that 5-year hiatus, 17 years. Every scene is when you wake up in the morning and you get the scene. Larry and Richard are screaming over a waitress. That's all you get, and then you ad lib. So I mean, it's just my role is the same as I am in real life, and he's as big a. Well, he's not as obnoxious in real life, but he's crazily funny, obnoxious. Well, you got to ask me a question, Tony. I'm trying to help you in front of your family.
I don't want to get in your way. You're rolling here. Or here is my first question. The thing that bugs me most about Curb Your Enthusiasm is the press that you guys all have to do. And the first question is always, what do you mean there's no script? Tell me how that all works. Like, the show has been around since forever. We all know how it works. He writes the outlines. You guys come in and ad lib. Does it drive you crazy that you still get that question about the script?
Well, you would, because you're the first guy to even think about this, and that's pretty cool to begin with. So, you know, if I had one of those stupid radio cowbells, I would ring it. But I don't. I wish I brought my radio cowbell, but I didn't. And then the guy, how's the traffic going, Lenny? And Lenny has a peg leg and no ears. It's fine. It was an accident. You don't do that kind of crap. So
we don't.
No. All right. The answer is yeah. We're asked it a lot. There is exposition on the outline. There's only a couple of pages of a whole episode, and there are scenes when early in the it might even have been the first episode. It started that way. It was a funny moment because the actress was this gorgeous Italian former model. I can't believe that she wouldn't have been. And then she plays my girlfriend, and she's waiting for me at the theater, a movie theater, and she has an argument with Larry. And anyway, long story short, I didn't know she was an actress, and I was just trying to be nice. I went, listen, don't sweat it, man. He's the nicest guy. He'll just do the scenes a few times until he thinks he's got it, and he'll move on. It's simple. And it's out of your own, sensibilities. It's cool. It's where else are you going to get a job like this? She just stared at me like really upset. And I said, "You all right?" She said, "No, yeah." And she got not violent, but yeah, I get it. I know what I'm doing. I went, yeah. I just, it was sexist. I mean, just envisioning her just came from a runway model, a festival in Milan, and turned out I get back home with my wife 2 weeks later, and she's in her third arc of an episode on The Sopranos when they were in Sicily. And I went, oh my God! So I'm lecturing this woman who had already done The Sopranos, but it worked out because she ultimately hated my guts, and so I pulled one of those method things, like I'm going to get her to just really hate my guts, before the scene. I mean, I wish I could say I did that. A lot of famous directors have done that to get the emotion they want, which is pretty harrowing, actually, when you think about it. It's pretty,
right.
But I did it to her, and she was so angry at me, and I think I deserve half the credit, to be honest with you.
Richard Lewis is our guest here on the morning show with Anthony. Curb Your Enthusiasm back this Sunday. It premiered this past Sunday. Tracks of My Fears tour at the Patchogue Theater. Now, here's my question to you, though, because I know you and Larry have a personal relationship outside of the show for many years.
Oh, screw Larry. Screw Larry.
No, but I want to know.
Tired of it. What do you want to know about him? He's lanky. He has no shot outside. He uses his elbows. He practices his golf swing before the take on the set. It's annoying. I think he's trying to sabotage me.
No, I want to know. I want to know. I want to know that.
on.
I want to know if you ever censor yourself or hold yourself back from telling him something in your personal life together, out at dinner or whatever, for fear of that he's going to write it into the show.
No. In
do.
fact, it happened in the first episode. I wear my heart on my chest. I went on stage because if I didn't, my family wasn't around really emotionally. So I used to, crash other family reunions just to feel like I had something going on there, And so I like strangers because they don't have any prejudgments on me. And with Larry, it's hard to figure out how he's really feeling. He doesn't like to share, at least with me. And we were born in the same hospital together, 3 days apart. And we had other coincidences that are shockingly unreal, like one of those UFO shows on the Discovery Channel. They hated each other as teenagers, never saw each other again, and then 10 years later were best friends until they realized when a budding alcoholic, Richard Lewis, looked at him and said, "Wait a minute, you're scaring me," which then caused Larry to turn on his heels and run, and I chased after him, and I said, "Who are you?" And then we retraced our childhood, and we said, lo and behold, we didn't say lo and behold. If anyone ever said lo and behold, we would mock the other person forever. I mean, isn't something you say lo and behold when, first of all, you're not Jewish when you say it, and second of all, you have to be making a cherry pie or an apple pie, and you got to either love it and go, lo and behold, look at me. So I don't like that word, but where was I?
I don't know.
Where am I performing near you? I forget again.
Patchogue Theater, Friday, November 3rd.
It's an unfair name. I always try to and I only have about a minute or so. And you have been one of the best interviewers. I know you're very popular up there. You do no research. I might as well have been dead Rod Steiger on the phone with you. You don't even know who I am. You don't have to review. You don't have to read any of the jazz reviews that I'm close to this guy or this guy. I do this for 49 years only so I can be on the phone with you at 70 and then collapse from a stroke from your idiotic questions. It would be good PR for your station and for the theater. And if the theater is next to a laundromat and I hear people putting quarters in while I'm on, I walk.
Well, listen.
November 3rd. That's where it's at, man.
November 3rd. Lo and behold, we've passed our time together, Richard. So I got to let you go.
I'm sorry. You're fantastic. I mean that. Most people, 99. I'm not mocking you. You made my day. You really did.
Listen, my goal was to be insulted by Rickles before my career was over. I never got that. I'll take you as a second place. That's a pretty good second place.
It's a great second place, and I'll looking forward to. I love that part of New York, and I'll see everybody up there. And I don't want to guilt trip anybody, but a lot of my family had heart attacks on stage because they saw an empty seat. So you figure, you do the math. This thing should be sold out in a week or so. How dare you? After 49 years of no children, got married late. I deserve to have my friends and family there. Not family, but they're not allowed in. There's German shepherds with pieces of their clothes in their mouth so they can detect relatives. All right, I got to run.
All right, Richard. Take care, man.
Don't hate me too much. You better plug the show. I know your family. I know where you live.
We're going to get it sold for you. Don't worry.
I know you will.
All
right, buddy. I'll see you out there.
Take care.
Take care, pal.
All right, there he goes. Richard Lewis on the morning show with Anthony. What just happened? I feel like I was just in a hilarious car accident. He was just rolling for the first 6 minutes of the. I have 47 questions I didn't even get to.